what brought me to the Underground Alliance, what brought me to training with Concho Haskins. I need to harness and channel some of my energies, we'll call it, because I was headed down a bad path, destructive path for myself and others. So I needed to find an outlet for my aggression, my skill level as a Marine, and I guess as a street fighter. I don't really take credit for that, but anyway, so I found Sigyo-Do at the time, or Taikido, and transitioned from Taikido to Sigyo-Do to Underground Alliance. What have I learned? I learned that aggressive behavior is kind of like, not kind of, it's a double-edged sword, just because, you know, there's a lot of people who can get hurt by actions that we take out of our emotions. So basically the training, the durability, the tough and roughness of it helped me be able to, you know, kind of harness, like I said, my energies. How have I benefited? I've benefited in numerous ways. I've been in a lot of different situations, not just positive, and I've always had my training at my disposal. A place I can go. I can get into Zanshin or into my own space, mind, head. Although Zanshin means mind of no mind, but the point is, it's always with me. Just day one in this dojo with Concho. Just continue to take the lessons, starting American wrestling with Concho, Jiu-Jitsu with Okamura Sensei. Of course, day one in the Danger Room. Proud. So, thank you, and that's my story. I'm gonna stick to it.
I went to the underground in search for truth. What I learned was a mindset that allowed me to apply the physical that was taught, as well as just a way to approach everything in life. And the benefit from all of this is the family that I've gained through it.
Hello everyone, this is Taylor Warren, aka Rock. What brought me to the Underground Alliance was I met an individual. I was 18 when I met him, and he was talking about martial arts and training and things like that. And me, being been training since I was 13. Trained in Kempo, but never knew at the age of 19 I would walk into a dojo. I would walk into a dojo and limp out. What I thought was going to be a cakewalk, being invited to the Danger Room, the original Danger Room, was the craziest day I encountered at that point in my life.
Wow.
To which what I thought was going to be simple training was not. It was rigorous, it was enlightening, and I was edified. To the point where I thought I was like the baddest dude out there, rugged, street fighter. And I walked out. Well, I didn't walk out. I limped up limped up the 5 stairs out of the basement, and with bruises and everything else, I was definitely wowed by what I just experienced. And I've been a forever student, to which every time life gets busy and I go back, I'm forever learning forever learning something, because Sensei Haskins, his mind is that a phenomenon where he's constantly ever growing, different approaches to situations, and having a valid answer for a lot of different situations, and passing it over to us. I'm a forever student, and I'm glad, I'm forever grateful for the training that I received. I mean, especially being guided to where I was always told, because I always use a lot of strength, that right, don't use strength, use technique. Your strength is best in reserve. Never understood that until later on in my training, to where now when you think about it, it's phenomenal. I used to think I was crazy because I'm able to predict what someone's going to do before they do it and have an answer for it, a valid answer. And it is great to be part of this family. I love all you guys. But Sensei Haskins, forever love you. I'll forever, ever be a part of this brotherhood that you created. I want to thank you. This is Rock. I'm out. Us.
I'm Michaela Ross. I've been training with Sensei Randy Haskins since I was 19 years old. I'm 37 now. I met him at Springfield College as a sophomore. Begged him to train me, and he met with me one-on-one and said, wow, I have to train this girl. And from there, it was a bond and training, and I learned so much from him, and he's like a father to me.
Hello everyone, Tom Ramba here from the Underground Alliance. Just wanted to share some thoughts, insights, and experiences on my time there and my time being involved with Randy Haskins and the other men and women of the Underground Alliance. I would say that what drew me to the Underground Alliance was the intense fire and passion for the art and craft of warriorship by Randy Haskins, and the fact that he pursues the martial sciences and sees himself as a martial scientist is something that was certainly unusual, and the depth of his understanding is just incredible. And I would say that he's made this his life. Many people will say that martial arts are a part of their lives, but he says this is my life, and he lives that out, and as do all the members of the Underground Alliance. And I would say that that fire and passion within all the members, just that started with Randy, is contagious. It's a contagious fire, and it's just about getting better. And I would say that as a scientist, he would say that it's not just the why, it's the why behind the why. And he hasn't said that, but that's what I've seen through his teachings, and it's been very rich and valuable in my understanding in the martial way. I would also say that the attention to detail, the attention to technique is unparalleled. Again, going back to the why behind the why. And that is something that is rare and again, unusual. The last thing I would say is that what makes the Underground Alliance special is the exceptional character of the men and women who are part of this organization. And it's an honor to be a part of. It's a privilege. They're my brothers and sisters, and I love them dearly. And that's what you can expect from the Underground Alliance.
My name is Garvin Headley. I started my martial arts journey over 15 years ago. I played sports my entire life, and when I finished college, I was looking for something to challenge me mentally and physically. That's when I found Sensei Haskins in the Underground Alliance. I love the no gloves, no pads, no nonsense approach to training. The thing that sold me the most was how Sensei Haskins could take a technique and break it down so vividly that I could visualize it in front of me. With the Underground Alliance, you're going to get real martial arts, real training, and real application. The Underground Alliance is a family, and that's what I love most about it. Us.
How you doing? My name is Henry Kodo. I train under Randy Haskins Sensei. I've been training about 17 years with him. We met at the Hampton County Sheriff's Department. He was my training officer. And one day, he invited me to his dojo when I was getting built. And we trained one session, and then one day we were going for a drive, and he asked me if I wanted to train with him. He accepted me as a student. It's been a privilege to train with him. He's not just my sensei, he's a friend, a father figure. His training has taught me so much and how to take care of myself, how to protect myself and my family. And I just want to say it's an honor to train under Randy Haskins. Us.
First time I met Randy, Sensei Atkins, was probably in Chicopee, and my brother Hector and my two nephews were moving up in Taquito, and he was giving them the gift, and I seen him beat the shit out of him, and I mean, that was my first memory of him. I never got to train with him, but later on in life, I got the opportunity. I wasn't going through a good phase in my life. I was, I would say, struggling maybe, finding a path or a way. And I asked my brother Rolando if he had his number. And so I gave him a call, and I asked him if he would train me, if he let me come in and train. And he said, sure, come right in. And so I went, and it began. And at first I just needed something. I didn't know what, but I was happy that he gave me the opportunity. I wasn't in the best physical shape, and I mean, he was the first one to probably tell me that. I remember the first day in, he just basically wanted to see where my skill set was at, which is probably -0. And he quickly showed me that. We did a couple mirror drills, and then he just lit me up. I remember him coming in with a reverse punch to the gut, quickly coming in with a forearm right to my neck, and just pinned me to the wall, and I almost passed out. And for me, I was like, this is incredible. I want to train. I want to have what this man has to control. And from there, it was just, I just made my choice, and he was honest with me. He told me, I can train you here, but I can't get you physically where you need to be. There's things you won't be able to do. And for me, I mean, that was keeping it real. He's always kept it real, always
straight shooter, and I started working on myself. But not only did I get better, stronger physically, but mentally, he showed me patience, discipline. I mean, at the time, for me, it was my therapy, my church. You know, it's something that kept me centered, and I always, he will always have my respect and admiration for giving me the opportunity, because to be honest, I came out of jail. He's a CEO at the jail where I was, and he could have easily been like, no, you know, turn his back on me, but he didn't. He gave me a chance. I don't even know why. I don't think I ever asked, but I was very grateful, and it changed my life. Like, I just wanted to be better. I wanted to work harder, and he really, for me, saved me. And forever I'm grateful. Thank you, Sensei Atkins, Randy.
I'm Kyle Aronzi. I discovered the Underground Alliance about 10 years ago during a seminar where Haskins Sensei was demonstrating a technique to redirect a front punch. The simplicity of the technique is what really interested me the most. Discovering that techniques don't have to be complicated or shouldn't be complicated. That's when I knew I needed to pursue this school, and I joined. 10 years later, I've developed an arsenal of tools and techniques and gained a vast amount of information to be able to continue honing these techniques. There's never been a school like it that I've ever been to, visited, studied in. The Underground is my home, and this is where I'll stay.
I met Sensei Haskins in January 2014. Well, I had known who he was before then, but the first time I actually sat down and talked to him was in 2014. I was in a situation at work with a inmate who was very strong, very athletic, and it was a forced situation, and I realized I didn't, even though I was a strong kid, I had played sports my whole life, I had really no clue what to do as far as compliance techniques to get control of the kid who was, you know, just as strong, if not stronger than I was. I really had no idea what I was doing. And I had seen Sensei Haskins do a few trainings over the years, through a few years. Like I said, I never really had talked to him, but I didn't know who he was from watching him do a couple trainings, and I was always really impressed with him. I just never, I guess, had the courage to actually reach out and ask to train with him. And then he posted something about a law enforcement program that he was going to launch, and I sent him a message through Facebook asking him if I could meet with him, and he had me come over to his house and met with me, and he asked me why I wanted to train, and basically gave me an opportunity to train with him, and basically told me he expects me to be at all the classes at 9 a.m. And back then I had no kids, and I worked second shift, so I would stay up I would sleep until about 11 a.m. So when he told me 9 a.m., I was, oh my gosh, okay. But I started going, and I first couple classes, I was like, this is intense. But you know, I stuck with it. I kept going, and he allowed me to stay on as a student. After a couple months, he assessed me and thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, and let me stay on and keep training with him. We trained, all the time for, some years, for seven years, 2014 to 2021, regularly, numerous times a week. We went to jiu-jitsu school together, we went to seminars together, really all over the place. And the amount of encounters I had, were stuff I'd learned and he taught me, not even just martial arts, but just in life in general, in that time and still even to this day, is more than I could even think of. There's just going off my head, there's so many different times where lessons he's taught, things he's taught have helped me and honestly helped me stay safe and out of harm's way. I mean, fortunately the last few years with the way life goes, we haven't really trained it all. Definitely not my timing, definitely not what I was a few years ago, but because we trained for as long as we did, I still get put in situations still, and the amount of training and stuff he taught me in that period, so there's certain things you're not gonna forget, and most people don't have any real skills, and even not training in a few years, I still have been very easily able to apply techniques and effortlessly, handle situations that if I'd never trained with him, I would have no clue what I was doing. So even though we haven't, fortunately trained recently, I still, hopefully, I mean, it'd be great if I still went, like I did before. And hopefully one day we can pick up again. But I still will definitely can't say enough good things about his school, and just there's certain lessons he teaches and things that he does that you might think he's being really hard on you and really rough and aggressive, but you'll see there's a reason, at the end of the day you'll see that there's a reason why he does it. And there's quotes and things that he says in his school that relate to life that I still use all the time. And he always says there's a connection between martial arts and life, and that's one thing at his school and through him that he definitely made me realize. The way he can break techniques down and explain things is just, it's a whole other level. His dedication to martial arts is absolutely on another level. I'd say he's one of the best in the world when it comes to that. Him and people like John Danaher, those just dedicate their whole lives to martial arts and making it better. And again, I can't really say enough good things about Sensei Haskins and his school. Again, the 2014 was when I started, and it was a very the memories and different experiences we had together over the years are certainly things that I still carry with me and that I definitely don't forget. So, thank you. Yes.
I discovered the Underground Alliance in about 2011. I was at a police training in Westover, Massachusetts, the Air Force Base there, and I've done boxing, Goju karate, and at the time I met Sensei Haskins, I was involved in jiu-jitsu pretty heavily. So I thought I was pretty competent with my techniques and the application of those techniques, and all the trainings I attended as a police officer seemed to make sense at the time, although some of the concepts were convoluted, some of the techniques were a bit impractical, and they were very contingent upon the person you were dealing with. They're doing specific tasks to elicit a specific response from me, and if they didn't do certain things, then I didn't have a technique to reach for to apply to that situation. The thing that Haskins Sensei taught me was more concepts and how to use my body efficiently in a way that eliminates the need to have to be, in a professional fighter's physical condition or have their time to be as strong or as cardiovascularly developed as they are, because with Haskins Sensei's program, it is about cutting out all the nonsense. It's about concepts that are effective, and that's when I learned as a martial artist what it meant to fight, how to overcome somebody's efforts to harm me. And because he teaches from a concept point of view and a practical application point of view, it cut out a lot of the nonsense that I've received from other systems and other arts. As an instructor myself, I can say that passing on these techniques and concepts have made my officers safer at my police department and anyone else who I've trained with, as far as keeping themselves safe every day, and what it means to be a warrior, what it means to preserve yourself and the safety of those around you. In addition to that, I've gained brothers and sisters that I consider lifelong friends. Haskins Sensei is like a brother to me, and I haven't gotten that from any other place that I've trained at. We do train pretty intensely at the dojo, and that is one thing that I have to say is not for everyone, but it has opened my mind up as to what my body, my mind are capable of doing in those extreme and dangerous situations, and how staying calm, cool, collected, and applying concepts and techniques can keep me safe. I can't stress enough how much it's meant to me for the past 12, 13 years to have trained with Haskins Sensei, and I would recommend that anyone who's interested in learning how to keep themselves safe, not how to be an athlete, would benefit from training with Haskins Sensei. And I think every black belt there and every student who sticks it out in that dojo is a better, safer person in their everyday life. So I gotta say that it's been a very enriching experience, and it's something that I've valued every day since I met Haskins Sensei.
I was fortunate enough to meet Sensei Haskins and join the UA organization as a child. I grew up fighting a lot, and I needed structure and a positive outlet to put my energy into. It was then that he took me in and he started training. I derived many martial and life lessons while being a part of this organization that's benefited me in every area and aspect of my life. I'd say it's taught me strength, toughness, intelligence, confidence, the ability to de-escalate, and most importantly, how to be calm and focused under pressure, which has benefited me inside and outside of fighting. The UA system I was taught is well-rounded, that it addresses all manners of striking and all aspects of grappling, whether it be standing or on the ground, which is very unique for a karate system. Training in this organization has enabled me to have a high enough of a fight IQ to really enjoy the martial arts for what it has to offer. It's given me a lifestyle that has done nothing but benefit me. My training has enabled me to protect myself from and overcome all fighting styles, body types, and sizes. My training has even saved my life on multiple occasions, from the ability to take hits, to disarming individuals with knives, to successfully fighting off multiple attackers. I've gained a great base for life in a martial family and a network of truly exceptional individuals. I've seen our lessons battle-tested, and I've been in that fire myself. I can confidently walk around knowing that I can defend myself and my loved ones if necessary.
touched my heart. It was my first time hearing all the videos that were sent. Like I said in the promo video for this, I received them, inserted them right into the video template that I created, and without watching them, because I wanted to view it with the audience at the same exact time. So the premiere time and date was set, and here we are, live reaction to the video. Wow. Thank you for watching with me. You guys be safe. I'll see you on the next one.